right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Wadash. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true, holy, and powerful name. Yahweh Shai being his only begotten Son's name, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutation and much love to your Akim out there pushing out this word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Salutations and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children learning in truth and sincerity as well. All right, this is the brother Osh from Great Millstone, Tampa, back with another live lesson real quick, or as well as edifying. Just out here in my meditating spot. And check it out, we got a little visitor over here. I don't know if you can see him. Maybe I'll show him at the end of the video. I'll pull up over there on him. But it's a little gator. It's coming to listen to the word. He pulled up as soon as I came over here. But nonetheless, you see the title, man, that Christopher Columbus or Cristobal Colon, okay, he is a devil, all right, he's an Edomite, and here it is, they have a holiday for him, and people don't even know what he was really about. I was looking for his journal. I had it before. I had the PDF file of his journal. I couldn't find it, but nonetheless, I've done videos on it before. This dude was a devil, and he documented his wicked acts. So of course they're not gonna push that out there in the forefront. But nonetheless, this dude was a bloodthirsty demon or devil, all right? And we're just gonna bring out some scriptures, for the judgment of not only his acts, but his people's acts, which are the Edomites. All right, so we'll start here in Proverbs 6 and 16. Proverbs 6 and 16 says, "These 6 things doth the Lord hate." Right, when you see the Lord in all caps is Yahweh. All right, when you go into the ancient Hebrew, the word there is actually Yahweh. It says, "These 6 things doth Yahweh hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood." And that's 3 for 3 so far for Esau Edom. All right, proud, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. I mean, just look at the track record of the the self-proclaimed white man. Okay, he's lied, he's proud of it. All right, he has a more stout look than his fellows, even amongst himself. All right, Obadiah tells you that his pride has deceived him, and he definitely 100% shed innocent blood. Look at this again. Go back to his history, his track record. Any court on the planet with a track record like that, you're guilty on spot. All right, there's no need to go to judge, jury. The jury. No need to go through the trial. This nigga's guilty. All right, and his track record proves so. All right, so what? Like he's a repeat offender. So when you like they do Jake in the court system, you got one crime. Oh, they already looking at you like you a nigga, which like you're guilty. And I'll say it like that. You got prior record. They're looking at you like you guilty. So how much more this devil? This nigga guilty is charged, man, on all accounts. Okay. But let's keep on going. It says, I get the wind turn the page here. It says, "In heart that deceiveth, deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and him that soweth discord among brethren." But that was the point, was in 17. All right, shedding innocent blood. All right, and you go into this journal, Christopher Columbus' journal, and the other conquistadors, all the bloodshed, the innocent people that who was born innocent. Whoever died being born it's like whoever died being innocent. I'm not saying they're perfect people, but they didn't do nothing to Christopher Columbus. I'm talking about they would cut their hands off, all right, make them piggyback them around the islands. This shit was crazy, man. If you can go look into that Christopher Columbus journal, you'll be appalled at the things you read in there, man. But they have to pay for that. They to this day, going all the way back to 1492, all right, when they sailed the ocean blue. they still have yet to pay for the crimes that led up to America being established. And here it is. They have a holiday for this nigga, a devil. All right, which ultimately he was led, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Shai, all right, the chariots. You know, yeah, a Shalom. It's Ash, Ahsh, Shalom. But yeah, man, this devil, he came over here, and what they came with Hebrew interpreters, knowing who they came here for. They weren't going into the West Indies. That's why they call it the West Indies, because there's a false claim saying that they were going this way to get to the West, or the opposite side of India. But that's all bullshit. All right, they knew exactly where they were. They knew the scriptures. They had Hebrew interpreters. Okay, and when they came here, what did they come to do? They came to subjugate the people. And they said it themselves, with 50 men, all right, we could conquer all these people. But nonetheless, let's go to Exodus. Slakia. Let's go to Exodus chapter 21, because these are the judgments coming onto these people, man. And here it is. America was established on bloodshed. America was established on deceit. I don't know what's going on. I got perfect signal. Let me know in the comment board if it's all going in and out, but we're gonna continue. All right, because this devil is not gonna. Maybe Esau's trying to get the video because he's hurt. All right, but Columbus Day was on Monday. Too bad, so sad. You're just gonna be mad. You got to pay for your crimes. You can't run away from your crimes no more. Okay, damn near committed genocide. Okay, on the indigenous people of the islands in South America. All right, because contrary to popular belief, Christopher Columbus never came to America, the USA. He never touched foot in America. He did go to South America. He went into the islands, but that's another bullshit history that the white man, the self-proclaimed white man, propagates. All right, so this is Exodus 21 and verse 16. It says, "And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely remember." Again, it's been a while since I Spain, Portugal, back to King Ferdinand and Isabella, if I'm not mistaken. And they brought it, and again, go into his journal, Christopher Columbus' journal. I wish I still had the PDF file, but I'm Lord's watch. But it started in 1492. All right, this was the rebirth, the ultimate, that really solidified the rebirth of the beast. Okay, because they were coming to power, the papals, or the papal, early 1300s, and they really took over in the mid 1300s. That's what that 1,000-year period was over, with the beast being wounded. But I mean, it's mind-boggling that this man actually wrote down in his journal. And why don't they talk about that on this Columbus Day? This was just past Monday, I believe. Why don't they talk about that? Why don't they read some of the passages out of his journal, and then celebrate that? But our people are 21 and 16, and he that stealeth the man and selleth him, right? Because again, the first slaves of the transatlantic slave trade really came from the islands, all right, back to Europe, all right. And the first slaves that came from that side of the world to the Americas were from Spain, okay. Which, remember, during all this, the Moors were being taken down, okay. The last strongholds were being taken down, and they were being converted to Christianity because Jake was bugged out and following after the Muslim or the Islamic religion, and they were brought from Spain to the Americas as slaves, all right. And then they went forth to Africa and whatnot. But this was the beginning. This is how we know this is we are those people, because it is according to biblical prophecy, because Judah and Ephraim were oppressed together here in the Americas. That's when we were brought back together through slavery. Ain't that something? The Lord brought us back together because remember we were divided. The nation split. The nation of Israel split into two: the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. And the Lord brought us back together through slavery. Okay, beginning with Christopher Columbus or Cristobal Colon. Okay, a devil, which he was. I'm pretty sure he was Italian. Okay, he was in Spaniard. He was in his investors were Spain. All right, in Portugal, or not Hispaniola. That's what the Dominican Republic and Haiti were called. But his it starts with an H, but I can't remember the name of the actual island of Spain and Portugal at one point. But nonetheless, that's how it started. Us coming back together, or the nations coming back together. Okay, being put into captivity together. And what does that remind you of? Ancient Egypt, where we were in captivity together as a whole, the complete nation. And then here in the modern day Egypt, we were back together in slavery, hardcore bondage. Okay, all right, because we always hit on the so-called Negroes and their enslavement because there was actually photos of that. But this is a 200, almost 100 something years difference of when the photos came out. But they have paintings, and artist renditions of what they would do to the Northern Kingdom, even up to the 1900s. Okay, early 1900s, they were still lynching Mexicans. Okay, and and you guys, they had signs here in the Americas talking about no Negroes, no Puerto Ricans, no dogs. So that goes to show you, okay, if that doesn't tell you who the northern and southern kingdom is, then the spirit ain't dealing with you. All right, and it says, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And here it is to this day, the same niggas that came to get us, put us in subjection, and brought our people over here in hardcore bondage, slavery. All right, slave ships. Okay, chains, shackles, whatever, yokes of iron, whatever you want to call it. We're still under those same people. Their children's children. All right. That's why it says, prepare slaughter for their children. Isaiah 14, prepare slaughter for their children for the iniquities of their fathers. You can't get away from the history. You can bullshit and tap dance all you want, but the scriptures say what they say. All right, in history, it's too late. You can't change it. You can try to change the books now, but it don't matter. Them kids going to school learning this shit, they're fucking idiots anyway. Who cares what they think? Little eighth grader. Nobody cares what if you teach him that they were in dirt and was it voluntary servants, whatever. They don't give a damn about them little kids, man. If they be saved, they be saved. But a lot of these little kids are a bunch of GMO babies and monsters, man. Okay. All that matters is about the elect coming back to their knowledge of who they are, okay? Coming back to their powers, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, okay? That's what matters. And we understand, and we just telling you, we're proclaiming the truth. And we're warning our people to get right or die, all right? Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, all right? And we're also giving these nations their judgments. We're telling them, all right? We're telling them, all right, the prison sentence. We're the jury, and the judge is finna come back and hit the gavel, if you know what I mean. So we're just telling you, this is your judgment for the crimes you've committed. And like Esau likes to say, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Well, Esau committed the worst heinous crimes ever done on the planet. So what do you think's gonna happen to him? You think the Lord's gonna let him go scot-free after he touched the apple of his eye? Come on, man. But we supposed to accept everybody. Yeah, that's madness. This is not Exodus. Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defieth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And America has been built off the blood of the Israelites. Hell, all the Americas, North, Central, South, the Caribbean islands, okay? All this has been built off of bloodshed, and it's polluted. The land is that's why the missiles are coming to clean this place out, because this land is polluted. 100% polluted from East Coast to West Coast, North to South. Nothing but bloodshed. And the Lord's going to require that blood now. And you know what? 2/3 of our people are going to go down with that because they continue to co-sign with the devil. And they want to forget about, oh, that was history. Don't talk about that. That was 400 years ago. Because we got a lot of people, simple-minded people of our nation that say things like that, and they're gonna die with eat the devil, right? Because Christopher Columbus, he's back here today. Who knows who he is? But guess what? People co-signed with him, celebrating his holiday, all right? And the Lord requires that blood, the blood of the innocent. Remember, the Lord, we started off with Proverbs 6. There's 16 that the Lord hated, and one of those things was the hands that shed innocent blood. How Bashim's chosen people, the Israel people. We was out there in the cotton fields, we was out there digging up for gold, whatever the case may be. We went in slavery right along with our people. But what? The Lord has a special spirit on us to come up out of her, or come up out of this wickedness, all right, and serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But nonetheless, Esau Edom has to pay for defiling the land with this blood. And it's a damn shame that you got our people, right? Because you can't even call them Israelites. They're heathens celebrating Christopher Columbus Day. You got Latinos, right, celebrating Christopher Columbus Day, not knowing what the hell they talking about, not knowing that this man butchered your forefathers. Did some horrendous things. Sick the dogs on you. Yeah, before there was hosing niggas in the streets. All right, where we had cameras hosing so-called black people and sicking the German shepherds on them. Guess what? They were doing that on the islands when there was no cameras. They was sicking the dogs on you, ripping you into pieces, rip you into pieces themselves, your babies. Cut your hands off because you didn't meet the gold quota of the day. Had you carry them around the island because they didn't want to walk. Club you over the head just for fun. Raped your woman in front of you. See, all these things had begun before 1611 or 1612, whatever the people like to say, which really the Southern Kingdom came in not too long after Christopher Columbus. I believe the first slaves from Spain came around 1511, 1510, something like that, or 1509. But it really got going in 1620 or 1619, whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, that's how you know they knew we were the same people. They didn't have no discrimination, whether you was on the island of Cuba, Puerto Rico, Guatemala, or you got picked up on the shores of West Africa or came from Spain, okay? They knew exactly who we were, and that's why they got to pay. And that's why their blood is going to be shed. All right? The Lord is bringing this place down. And ultimately, they're going to be the missiles to destroy America. Of course. But this man, all right, like I in the title said, Christopher Columbus is a bloodthirsty devil, okay? Well, guess what? It's going to come back for him. The same spirit he was in, because he there's a excerpt in his journal says that he couldn't put the sword down, because they would have, the devils, man, get down. You know how they get down, man. They love seeing blood. They want to eat it. They call it game, kill innocent animals, and they killing people too. You think the only thing they hunt is animals? You're not living in reality. These motherfuckers hunt people, man. And not just the elites, not the higher ups. I'm talking about look what happened to this one dude that was jogging down the street and them 3 Edomites. I forgot his name, but this was a couple years ago. Jake was going for a jog and them Edomites followed him and killed his ass. You think that's the only Edomites that do shit like that? Yeah, you're not living in reality. This is Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. It says, because thou hast hated Yes, I just go straight to the point. Yeah, verse 5. Because thou hast hated, I'll go to verse 1, man. Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. And who's Mount Seir? Esau, Edom. Right? The government of Esau, Edom. is what we were prophesying against. Because the average Joe Blow, he's gonna fucking die very soon. Just average Joe Dirt, trashy trailer trash Edomite. He's a loser. He don't know what's going on, and he gonna die in the famines, in the wars, whatever. But the elites now, they got a special judgment for them, and that's the first fruits of slavery. It says, verse 3, and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh, or thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Right, the Most High is going to make thee desolate, man. No more Edomite kingdoms, no more cities called after their name. All right, no more of your prized possession, America, the Golden Cup. All right, none of that. Babylon the Great, the city, the great city, all that is coming to an end. Verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Right, these people have had these devils have had a perpetual hatred against us from the womb. Well, actually, from the beginning, Cain and Abel. Okay, going all the way back to the beginning, from the beginning to the end. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. And then it has a little footnote on the perpetual. It says hatred of old. So they've had this is an old beef, man. Esau been beefing with us since the beginning. He gonna continue to beef with us to the end, till the Lord returns and puts him down. It says, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, which that's happened throughout time. The Babylonian Empire, when the Edom, took advantage, all right, through the Greek Empire, through the Roman Empire, and then again going back to beginning in 1492 to this day. Okay, how many years is that? Well, that's 530 some years. Okay, this man has continued to shed our blood of the children of Israel, and he don't care. He fucking put it on TV now. That's how bold he is about it. And what you gonna do, boy? What, you gonna march? You gonna go to the streets and loot the stores? Then he got an excuse to kill more of you niggas. And he's about to come down with the great tribulation, or with great wrath this last go around, because he know he hath but a short time. It says, in the time that their iniquity had an end, therefore as I live, it say Yahweh Bashim Shai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. There you go, man. This nigga likes to see so much blood. Well, that's what you're gonna get. You reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. Karma, whatever you want to call it. The Lord got something for you, man. You went above and beyond to treat the children of Israel, the Most High's people, like shit, and do these gruesome acts to them and these foul, abominable things unto them. Well, we're not gonna do no abominable things unto you, like buck breaking or nothing like that. But we're gonna give you double. The scriptures say, "Give double unto her." All right, and you've done the worst, atrocious acts here in the Americas unto the Lord's chosen people, and the Lord's gonna pay you back for that. All right. You whether you call yourself an Italian, if you're an Edomite, you're gonna get it. If you call yourself an American and you're an Edomite, you're gonna get it. If you're a German, a British, Irish, French, Russian, if your line goes back to Esau, Edom, you're gonna get it. And the elites, you're gonna get it twice, because you're gonna live through the end of this world. Okay, you're gonna live through the missiles. You're gonna live through the destruction of America. You're gonna live through all the downfall of this society. And guess what? You're gonna be put into in chains and shackles, and rightfully so, because you're the ones given the green light, all right, to commit these atrocities. All right, it's not the average Joe out here committing atrocities, which those are, the ones with the photos and whatnot. And you see these modern day pictures of Jake being hung, all right, and being set on fire and hung, and you see a bunch of devils in the back smiling and cheesing with their kids. Yeah, they had a hand with it. but they didn't what is it called? They didn't pay for those slave ships. All right, they're not calling shots. The hell, shit. Most Jakes are doing better than most Edomites, man. Ain't that something? That's a sad, pathetic excuse for a ruler, man. You got your own people doing worse than your slaves. That's pathetic. That is truly pathetic. But nonetheless, this devil, he has to pay. And what was his blessing? The sword. Well, the Lord's about to come. The same person that gave him that blessing, which was Isaac, which in the spirit, if you can receive it, is Yahweh Shai. All right, the same person that gave him the blessing is going to be the one to take the blessing back from him. All right. So let me just read this real quick. This is Matthew 26 and 52. It says, then said Yahweh unto him, put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. So Esau Edom lived by the sword. Okay? He's conquered the world with the sword. To this day, he's the only nigga to ever make weapons of mass destruction, which is the sword. So he's gonna die by that very same sword. Okay? And rightfully so. And they're going into captivity. Well, let me bring this out. We'll end it off on this because this is something we used to go into every week at camp. But let me go to Revelation 13 and 9. This is Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. What did Christopher Columbus, all right, do unto the indigenous people, which are Israelites of the Northern Kingdom out here in the Americas and the Caribbean islands? What did he do to them? He put them in captivity. That's a fact. It's not up for a debate or discussion. It's a fact. It's in his journal, his personal journal. It's in history books. Okay, they put us in captivity, and as well as the Southern Kingdom in captivity when they brought them into slave ships like sardines. Okay, it says, if any man lead into captivity, he that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. So what is the outcome of that? What is Edom is going to get for putting us in captivity? Well, he got to go into captivity, aka slavery. It says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And what was the Esau's blessing? The sword. What did Yahweh Shai say in Matthew 26? He that picketh up the sword shall perish by the sword. Or he that lifted up the sword. But let me read that again. I don't want to butcher it. All right, because he that killeth the sword must be killed by the sword. It said, Matthew 26 and 52, then said Yahweh Shai unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Well, Esau not only took it, that was his blessing, so he lived by it. So he's going to be killed by it. He's going to perish by the sword. And it's going to be his own missiles that the Lord put the spirit on him to create. Ain't that something? The Lord made him create his own destruction. Woo! That's a bad man. Hey, how about the Lord made Esau Edom create his own destruction, which is gonna be them thermonuclear missiles. All right. So hey, Lord's will, this was edifying. Hey, keep the faith. Continue to believe and have the faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai and push His word. If you're able bodied, do what you can for the ministry. Don't make excuses. Do better, whatever you can. All right. Because hey, remember, show me thy faith without works. I'll show you my faith by my works, as the brother Yahweh said. Okay, James. So Lord's will, this is edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.